My sister is 25 years old, but her behavior and attitude still resemble that of a 13-year-old. She has this persistent expectation that things will always go her way, and when they don't, she refuses to take responsibility for her actions. It's astonishing to see her rely on others to bail her out or fix her problems. A perfect example of this is when she asks our dad to take her out for a movie or dinner. Even though it's her idea, she'll still try to manipulate dad into paying for her ticket or meal. It's like she thinks the world revolves around her and that everyone else should cater to her whims. I recall a time when I needed to drive somewhere and asked my parents which car I could use. They told me to take the Toyota Vios, which is an older model, but reliable nonetheless. But what happened next with my sister is just typical of her behavior. That's when my sister's true colors showed. She became furious with me for taking the Toyota Vios, claiming that I had no right to use it. Apparently, the car had a special sticker that granted access to a particular area, which she needed to attend a party. However, what she failed to mention was that she hadn't even asked our parents if she could use the car in the first place. She just assumed it was hers for the taking, without bothering to clear it with anyone. Her reasoning was that I should have asked all our siblings if they needed the car before taking it. But that's a double standard, considering she didn't follow the same protocol. She never informed our parents about the party or her plans to use the car. She simply expected everyone to read her mind and accommodate her needs. When her assumption backfired, she still refused to take responsibility for her mistake. Instead, she blamed me for not knowing about the sticker and her secret party plans. It's astonishing how she can't see the hypocrisy in her actions. Last year, my sister's latest obsession began when she brought home a new dog, a female poodle, courtesy of a friend who owed my dad a favor. This addition brought the total number of dogs in our household to 5 toy poodles, 2 males, 1 neutered female, and a male Labrador. My sister was over the moon with her new pet, but what she didn't reveal at first was her ulterior motive. She had plans to breed her new dog with one of our existing poodles to make money from the breeding program. The dog was only 8 months old when we got her, and my sister was already thinking about exploiting her for financial gain. She didn't seem to care about the responsibilities and challenges that come with breeding dogs, nor did she consider the potential health risks to the animals. All she saw was an opportunity to make some quick cash, and of course she expected everyone else in the household to help her with the dog's care and breeding process without lifting a finger herself. My sister's lack of responsibility as a dog owner and handler is staggering. Despite having a new pet, she continues to prioritize her social life, often leaving the dog in the care of my brother and me without even asking. She assumes we're available to watch the dog whenever she feels like going out with her friends. The dog, still a puppy, requires constant attention and supervision, but my sister seems oblivious to this. One time, the dog almost destroyed my laptop by placing its paw on the screen, nearly knocking it off the table. When I confronted my sister about it, she had the nerve to say, "You shouldn't have used it there," as if I was the one who was reckless, not her, for leaving the dog unattended. Her lack of accountability is infuriating. But that wasn't the worst of it. When my parents went out of town for a weekend to attend my dad's cousin's funeral, my sister saw an opportunity to party. She left for a party without even informing me or my brothers that we were in charge of babysitting her dog. No warning, no instructions, no nothing. She just assumed we'd somehow magically know that we were responsible for her pet. It's like she thinks we're her personal dog-sitting service, available at her beck and call. The situation came to a head when my sister assumed I would sleep in my parents' room and watch both the Labrador and her poodle while she was out partying. But I had had enough of her reckless behavior. I left the room, and predictably, the poodle peed on my mom's carpet. My brother sent a photo to my mom, who was still away at the funeral. When my mom returned, she was furious and tried to talk to my sister about her irresponsible behavior. But my sister just walked away, refusing to listen to my mom's concerns. This only added fuel to the fire, and my mom was even more angry. What really grinds my gears is that my sister continues to prioritize her social life over her responsibilities as a dog owner. She stays out with friends until 2 a.m., leaving her poodle unattended and uncared for. I've told her repeatedly that she can hang out with friends and her boyfriend, but she needs to limit it to 3 hours max. I mean, come on, she has a dog to take care of. But she just ignores me and continues to do whatever she wants. When she finally stumbles home, she doesn't even bother to take her dog outside or bring it to my mom's room. She just leaves it to fend for itself, like it's an afterthought. It's infuriating to see her so reckless and irresponsible. Last week, disaster struck again. The dog went into heat, and to make matters worse, it was a long weekend in our country. My sister saw this as the perfect opportunity to abandon her responsibilities once more. She decided to go out for 4 days with her friends, without even bothering to inform me or my brothers. I only found out when she left, leaving us to deal with the consequences. She didn't provide any instructions on how to handle her dog's heat cycle, despite knowing how critical it is to monitor and care for the dog during this time. What's even more infuriating is that my mom had taken the time to educate us on how to handle situations like this when she went out for a month. She made sure we knew what to do in case the dogs went into heat, got sick, or had any other issues. But my sister, who was supposed to be the primary caregiver for her dog, didn't bother to share any information or instructions. She just left, leaving us to figure it out on our own. It's like she expects everyone else to pick up the slack for her irresponsibility. The situation was chaotic while my sister was away. Her dog was in heat, and the Labrador was going crazy, sensing the female poodle's state. I was left to deal with the mess, trying to control the situation as best I could, but it was a nightmare. My sister was nowhere to be found, off having the time of her life with her friends, while I was stuck at home dealing with the consequences of her irresponsibility. When my mom found out about my sister's extended trip, she was baffled. Why did she need to stay away for 3 nights when it could have been just a day? My mom was fed up with my sister's lack of consideration and responsibility. That's when she decided to take matters into her own hands and have the female poodle neutered. She informed my sister of the plan, but my sister was adamant that it shouldn't happen. However, my mom had had enough of her daughter's recklessness and went ahead with the procedure anyway. Last Friday, the female poodle was neutered, and when my sister found out, she went ballistic. She lashed out at my mom, furious that her plans had been thwarted, but my mom stood firm, knowing that she had made the right decision for the dog's well-being. My sister's reaction was just another example of her refusal to take responsibility for her actions and her pet's needs. The argument between my sister and mom lasted for 2 hours, with both of them refusing to back down. My sister was furious that her plans for the breeding program had been ruined, and my mom was fed up with her daughter's irresponsibility. The argument ended with my sister storming off to her room, where she cried for another 2 hours. But here's the thing, my sister's tears weren't about her concern for the dog's well-being. No, she was crying because her plans for making money from the breeding program had been foiled. She was angry that my mom had taken away her chance to profit from her dog's breeding. My sister also accused my mom of not wanting her to see her friends, but that wasn't the point at all. My mom just wanted my sister to understand that having a dog requires responsibility and time commitment. She was trying to say that my sister needed to minimize her time with friends and focus on training and caring for her dog. But my sister refused to listen. Anyway, I'm glad that my mom took a stand and had the dog neutered. It's a relief to know that my sister's laziness and irresponsibility won't be rewarded. Maybe this will teach her a lesson and she'll learn to take her responsibilities seriously. But I doubt it.